So, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at r/Am I the Bort Hole? So if you would like to judge some big old gaping bort holes with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. I think that has to be my favourite way to introduce Am I the Bort Hole before we read them, you know? Okay, so for this first story, I'm going to give a big old content warning for discussions of miscarriage. So if discussions of miscarriage, pregnancy loss are something that you cannot deal with, not a problem. I'll leave a timestamp for where you can fast forward to, or, you can absolutely, dip out of the video. I have many others to choose from to watch instead. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. But of course, if you decide to stay, this one was posted by Massive Historian 91. Am I the bort hole for telling my co-worker I was miscarrying after she tried to get me in trouble for excessive bathroom use? Ooh, this one's gonna make me angry. I, F26, have a co-worker, Mary, whose main goal at work is to get the rest of us in trouble. Today I was apparently the target. When I got back from lunch, my boss asked me to talk and explained how a co-worker had complained that I had excessive bathroom use, and that she and the other co-workers had to pick up my slack. Excessive was 10 minutes in the 4 hours before lunch, and I took 40 minutes for lunch instead of 30 we are supposed to. I was 8 weeks pregnant when I started miscarrying on Tuesday and called in sick to work. I was off yesterday since I am working Saturday, but decided to come into work today to try and use work to distract myself instead of sitting at home wallowing. That's awful. I'm really sorry to read that, OP. I hope you're doing as well as you possibly can be right now, and wishing you all the best, really, because, yeah, that is not something that anyone should go through, really. I ended up explaining the situation to my boss to end the conversation. She apologised to me and offered me a couple days off, but I want to be at work to distract myself. Well, I'm glad that the boss apologised because, yeah, honestly, I think it's so ridiculous anyway how strictly policed going to the toilet is. Like, I'm sorry, people might be having a bad day just guts-wise. It happens to the best of us. Like, stop trying to police how often adults go to the toilet if it's something that's out of the ordinary. They might just be having a bad day. After the meeting, Mary was looking extremely smug, clearly thinking she had gotten me in trouble, and I was so angry. So I told her, sorry if she was so distracted by me being away from my desk for 20 minutes, but since I was miscarrying, I figured it was fine. Mary looked shocked but didn't speak or even look at me for the rest of the day. After work, a co-worker I am friendly with said that while I'm technically right and Mary was completely out of line, I shouldn't have said anything. Why? Why not? Knowing it would create an uncomfortable work environment. Do you know what else creates an uncomfortable work environment? Jobs words like Mary trying to grasp people in for everything when they've done nothing wrong. That makes an uncomfortable work environment. I don't feel like I did anything wrong, and if Mary wants to micromanage everything, she should expect uncomfortable situations to arise. Precisely. But I also get that Mary isn't the only co-worker this gets uncomfortable for, and I don't want to make things hard for my co-workers I actually get along with. Yeah, but if they're decent people, they're going to completely understand where you're coming from. Like, the OP's done nothing wrong here at all. In fact, I would have been a lot more vicious with Mary, to be quite honest with you. This was very controlled and level-headed, the way that the OP has dealt with this, let me tell you now. So, am I the bort hole for telling Mary I was miscarrying when she tried to get me in trouble and making things uncomfortable at work? Sorry for any mistakes, English is my second language. Honestly, don't, because I've read posts from people whose English is their first language, and it makes no sense at all, but this was written absolutely fine. Perfect. But yeah, no, absolutely not. I don't care how the other co-workers feel. If they feel like they're uncomfortable, they should probably be in the OP's shoes right now. What the hell is all I can say to this? What in the actual hell? So down in the comments, Mr. Sanjuro75 says, So, your co-worker, not Mary, thinks you're right, but you should have done more to make things comfortable? Screw that. You miscarried. Mary deserves to be uncomfortable. She's a busybody who needs to mind her own business. If she's uncomfortable at learning the reason you abused the bathroom policy, then she shouldn't have ran to the boss. Exactly. And then Ziaxa says, if I was a manager and I had an employee like Mary that had a clear history of reporting their co-workers over things, unless those things were criminal acts or major violations of company policy or the law, such as safety violations, then I'd be firing Mary. Yeah, literally. Because I'd be like, as a manager, I'd be like, Mary's an absolute pain in the arse. Let me find a way to get rid of her. If nothing else, given what OP told the manager about why she'd been in the bathroom so much, I'd be terminating Mary for that, because she's harassing and trying to police someone going through medical issues. And I'd actually argue it's not just a medical issue, but a medical emergency. Exactly, like until you've been through it, people don't understand what it actually feels like the pain. Oh, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to go through. It's horrific. The mental side of it as well, it feels so messed up. And I know that sounds like the understatement of the century, and I know there's going to be people listening to this right now that can completely understand what I'm saying, but it's one of those things that you can't accurately convey just how awful it is. It's just horrific. Like, I can't think of another word to explain it, really. Mary's a butthole. Get in the bin. And of course, I reiterate, I really hope the OP is doing as well as they possibly can. And anyone else that's going through it or gone through it as well, I hope you are okay and doing as well as you possibly can. And most importantly, just have support from somebody. So, next post, Banana Toffee says, am I the butthole for breaking up with my boyfriend after he made a very inappropriate comment to my sister? I'm going to start by saying that I don't think I'm the asshole, but now my ex-boyfriend claims I have been overreacting and exaggerating. I've been dating this guy for 3 years, and I really thought he was the one, but today he made me quickly change my mind. I have a half-sister, 16. I'm 22. We have the same dad and different mums, and we don't look much alike. 2 years ago, my dad developed a severe form of leukemia and he passed away within a couple of months. Needless to say, it was the hardest thing my sister and I had to face in life. My sister took it particularly hard. She used to love going to the gym and working out, and she stopped doing so. She also started eating much more junk food and ended up gaining a lot of weight. Today, my boyfriend and I went to my sister's house as her mum had invited us all for lunch. We were eating homemade pizza and my sister ended up asking her mum if she could have another slice. That's when my boyfriend said, "Are you sure you want another one? Looking like that." Oh, wow. My sister got up from the table and ran to her room. I was in shock and I wasn't able to tell him anything, nor follow my sister to her room, which I deeply regret. Thankfully, my boyfriend and I don't live together, so before he dropped me off at home, I told him it was over because he can't disrespect my sister like that, especially because he had been there when my dad died and knew how it made both of us feel. I tried to call my sister and she won't answer. I texted her mum to ask her if she's okay, and she said she's okay and that she's not mad at me, but she doesn't want to talk to anybody right now. I mean, I don't blame her, the poor love. I'm going to go over to her mum's house after she's done with school tomorrow and bring her some flowers. I know I'm not the one who said anything, but I hope she can forgive me for not stepping up. I was in shock and I hope she understands. Honestly, I really like the fact that this OP has a good relationship with their sister, and even the OP's sister's mum is inviting her round for food. Like, I think that's really nice that they're able to keep like a civil relationship with their sister's mum, because I imagine in a lot of scenarios where there's like the same dad but different mums, or the same mum but different dads, things can get a little bit messy sometimes. Like, I mean, I've seen it. I've read stories where it's like that. But what an absolute stain is that bloke. And honestly, fair dues for getting rid of him, because I wouldn't want to be with someone like that. Like, if that's the way they think, and they think that that's an acceptable way to talk to a teenager, I'd be like, ew, get out. Like, that would immediately put me off. Like, just the fact that they're so comfortable being so cruel for no reason. Ew. So, down in the comments, Sweet P916 says not the butthole, and good job kicking into the curb and trying to be there for your sister. If he said that to her, just imagine if something happened to you, like getting pregnant and you gained weight or something. He showed his true colours. And then Lazy Instruction 600 says, and can you imagine this man being a father to girls? Oh, heaven forbid. Telling them to watch what they eat all the time and stressing them about looking beautiful. He would instill a sense of self-worth completely reliant on the way they look and not who they are. Not the butthole. OP dropped the trash at the curb. Exactly. Next post, £20 wiener. Okay. Am I the butthole for telling my sister-in-law I won't be going out to eat with her family again if her husband and youngest are going too? Let me start off with, I have a great relationship with my sister-in-law and her older kids, 18, 16. Thought I had a great relationship with husband, 46, and youngest, 13, until last night's dinner. We went to a nicer Italian restaurant and I was completely embarrassed and furious with the way they acted. Husband was complaining about everything from where we had to park, why we had to wait when we had a reservation, which he made us late for by taking his sweet time getting ready, to the prices and menu options. We get appetizers enough for everyone to have at least 2 of each thing. He grabs half of all of them because he couldn't wait to eat, and then complains about whatever he can with the food. 13-year-old is wearing pajamas and a tore-up hoodie because dad said it was fine. It wasn't, but they still sat us. Waiter comes to take our order. Husband orders some crazy modified pizza and bitched when they charged accordingly. 13-year-old couldn't order for themselves. I don't know why, but whatever. Me and sister-in-law have both worked in restaurants for years, and this is the part that made me want to leave. Husband has both earbuds in, watching anime at the table, and shakes his empty Mountain Dew glass at the waiter, then laughs about how he didn't have to even say anything to get a refill. Suddenly I have a perfect image of what this man looks like. And I'm sure you all do too. Check comes and one of the apps I was paying for was on their bill. Easy fix, but husband yells, "How hard is it to do it right the first time?" That's when I almost lost it, and just followed the waiter to the POS and paid for me and the 2 eldest food, said bye to sister-in-law and 2 oldest and left. She later called me and asked if they did something wrong, so I laid it out about how embarrassing her husband and youngest were. I was told that no one else has a problem with them. Why? Why does no one else have a problem with them? Like, I wouldn't want to go out with them either for food. I'd be like, oh my god, people are going to think that I am okay with this behaviour. No thank you. Then get a call from mother-in-law thanking me for being the only other person to call at least the husband out for his shit. So, am I the butthole, or was I right to be embarrassed and pissed off? Absolutely you're right to be embarrassed and pissed off. That is the wildest behaviour. Like, I don't understand. Oh, my ears just started ringing. Left one. What does that mean then? I just don't understand how the sister-in-law's okay with this. The teenager being like, I don't want to get dressed up to go out and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fair enough. 13-year-olds can be a bit awkward when it comes to getting dressed for certain things. And you don't want to completely police what they're wearing. But if they want to wear a hoodie and comfy clothes, at least make them put on presentable hoodie Like these days, you can get like a super soft jacket that feels like a hoodie, but it's a jacket and it looks presentable. Like some trousers that are on the baggier side, but they look presentable and more like a going out style trouser. There's so much more clothing out there for people if they really do struggle with the sensory aspect of clothes. There is no excuse for allowing your child to go out in pajamas and a ratty hoodie to a restaurant. Like, you can make them presentable while still being comfy. Like, my eldest doesn't go anywhere in anything that's not like a hoodie or a baggy jumper and comfy trousers. So we have like nicer versions of those, you know, like versions that you can get away with if you're going somewhere. And then if it was somewhere that really required a nice outfit, it's like, okay, we're going to have to put our foot down, you know, for a wedding or something. And you're going to have to put something on like this. You know, you can wear what you want, but it has got to be appropriate for that kind of event. But the husband has no excuse. Like, what the hell? Rude, for a start. And then watching anime at the table with earbuds in. Like, you think that he's the 13-year-old, to be honest. Anyway, the OP then goes on to say, this is my wife's sister's family. My wife passed in 22. So down in the comments, Tarara Boomda says, if mother-in-law was thanking you, they're not the butthole, and brother-in-law obviously is. OP then says, not brother-in-law, haha. That is used for the actual brother-in-law and husbands that are liked. And then Tarara Boomda comments back saying, sorry, sister-in-law's husband then. He's the asshole here. So, next post, name Am I the Butthole says, Am I the Butthole? My girlfriend is angry that I call my friend by his real name. Everyone who knows my ex-boyfriend, 33M, calls him either JT or by his last name. I, 29M, was never amongst those people. He introduced himself to me by his first name, Jude, so that's what I've always called him. 2 years ago, he and I broke up due to him getting a promotion that included a ton of travelling. I love him, and I definitely didn't want him turning down an opportunity like that for me. We tried long distance, and it just wasn't sustainable for us. I'm a homebody through and through, you and me both, mate. And I like having a person home with me too. Not you and me both on that one. I prefer to spend my time chilling with cats in my free time. I've been dating my current girlfriend, 29F, for about 8 months now. Jude has recently transferred positions within his company again and is back in our city for the majority of the time. We didn't end on bad terms at all, so we're still friends. My girlfriend always said that she's fine with that. After a group outing with him, my girlfriend, and some other friends, she asked me why I call him something different than everyone else. I mean, 'cause it's his name, love. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out why you might call him that. This has since turned into a multi-day argument where she claims that calling him by his first name when no one else does is too intimate. Okay. She said it's a relationship. No, it's not. She said it's a relationship thing and that I need to start treating him like a friend. I said she's being ridiculous. Yes. And unbelievably insecure. It's his name, not a term of endearment. Am I the butthole? Okay, so editing void here. When I first recorded my initial answer to whether I thought the OP was a butthole or not, I said flat out no, definitely not the butthole. Girlfriend's being ridiculous. However, I would like to change my stance on that, please, dear judge. Because I recorded this in the middle of the night, by the way, so that's probably why I completely skipped over this bit, but the OP says, oh, I love him, as in I still love him as he's writing this about his ex. Now, do I still think in any other circumstances saying that you can't call someone by their name because it's too intimate and a term of endearment is ridiculous? Yes, I would. Do I think the OP is a purposeful butthole? No, I don't. I do think they've been a little bit of a butthole and insensitive here, though, because if they're very open and vocal to their girlfriend about the fact that they only broke up because the guy moved away, he still loves him, And, you know, he's the only one who calls him by this name. I can see how that would make the girlfriend insecure. I also think, though, that the girlfriend needs to pull up a big girl panties and say, this is what I am insecure about, actually. Like, you know, let's be honest, it's nothing to do with the name and it's all to do with the relationship between the two. Did she get into a relationship with OP knowing he was still friends with his ex? Yes, she did. And that is on her for doing that. You know, when you do that, you have to accept that you can't hold it above their head if you already knew about that. But if she's feeling insecure about it, I do think that she needs to communicate that she's just insecure about the relationship they have, full stop. So yeah, I don't think therapy's a purposeful butthole here, but I think maybe they are. The reason for why the girlfriend's actually uncomfortable is going completely over his head. And I do think the onus is on the girlfriend here too, to, like I say, pull up those big girl pants and say, look, I am insecure about this relationship you have. It's okay. If you're insecure, just say it so you communicate. So, down in the comments, this time 232 says, Jude has recently transferred positions within his company again and is back in our city for the majority of the time. You broke up with him because he had to travel a bunch, no other reason, and now he doesn't have to travel like that anymore. I doubt she's upset about the name. She's probably just feeling insecure, and considering the situation, I can understand why she would feel that way. And then Raw Bears says, yeah, I could see this being the case as well. Not the butthole about the name thing, but I suspect it's about more than the name. Yeah. So, last post for the day, Structure Dizzy 2076 says, am I the butthole because I refuse to try for a daughter? I mean, straight away, no, because you can't try for a daughter. You're not guaranteed to get one. You get what you get. There's not much choice, although, I don't know, give it a few years and maybe you will get to choose. That'll be a scary world, won't it? My wife and I have been having a hard time. She is a teacher and her job is stressful. Every day she talks about how much she dislikes her students and their parents. Fair, to be honest. I often think I could not be a teacher because I look at some of the parents on the school run and I think, oh, you're all really annoying. When they're like griping at the teacher every morning for the most silly things, like, my child didn't get the like star of the week thing or whatever. Why have they not had it yet? And it's like, mate, maybe it's because your child's not behaved enough to get it, perhaps. Leave the poor teacher alone. And you know what? I'm only partly joking about that as well. Like, yeah, of course, a lot of the parents are really nice and what have you, but it is concerning how many parents, like, on the school run that you notice are just so entitled or so, like, all about themselves and, oh, my child's amazing. And you're thinking, oh, I heard about your child beating up another child the other day, so... Do you know what I mean? It's actually scary, concerning, to say the least. In many ways, this has bled into our home life. She often will get frustrated with our son and say, you're acting like so-and-so, or so-and-so in my class does the same thing. Oh, don't like that. That's not good. That's going to give this poor lad a complex. This is confusing for him because he doesn't know who those people are. Yeah, that's not okay. You cannot take out your frustrations of the day on your kids. Our son is starting kindergarten in the fall. My wife wants to have a second baby. She says she is sick of being a boy mum and wants a daughter. I do not think we are ready to have a second baby. For one thing, we have had several conflicts with our parents about childcare. Both have said that they will help us, but her parents are flaky, and my parents are judgmental. For a second thing, we are not doing well financially at the moment. Expenses have gone up, and that is stressful. For a third thing, my wife wants to have a girl, and I'm scared of how she will react if that doesn't happen. My wife said I'm being selfish because I got a boy and now think we're done. Yeah, I do not like parents like this. I really don't like parents like this. Like, I understand, like, being like, oh, I'd love a girl as well, or I'd love a boy as well, if you have a, the opposite gender. But these aren't trading cards, mate. You're not collecting them for funsies. You can't have one and go, oh, that was nice, but I'm bored now, and now I want something else to play with. Like, you still have a whole entire child there that needs you and needs to be nurtured by you. And I really do feel like the wife is just brushing the poor lad aside. Like, that's awful. She said if we had had a girl, I would want to try again. That's not true. I don't care. I just think now is a bad time for a second child, period. Work is stressful and home is stressful too. Am I an asshole? No, absolutely not. And like the OP very rightly points out, you're not guaranteed to get a girl, and how on earth is she going to act if she doesn't? Like, are you going to keep going? I've seen some of these families on like flipping the news or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, we ended up having 9 girls before we finally got our boy. And that's damaging wording in and of itself for those 9 girls. Imagine, yeah, oh, we were just the consequences of mum trying for the youngest. Like, we weren't really wanted because we weren't the right gender. Like, I don't like that. That's really icky. But yeah, this doesn't sit right with me at all, especially the way that she seems to be being really, for want of a better word, nasty to the poor boy, just because she's having bad days at work and because she's not got the girl that she wants. I don't like that. So down in the comments, Zach940 says, what would happen if you had another boy? Would you just keep trying for that girl? Not the butthole. God, I don't think I've even seen the comment blew up like this. I did not think this type of story was so common. It unfortunately is quite common. And then OP says, I have tried to say this. She is confident our second baby would be a girl. And then Ready Conflict 1887 says, my boss has 6 kids. Only one of them is a girl. The last 3 have all been attempts to get a second girl. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.